Today we are going to discuss about the lathe parts and its functions. The objective of this class is to specify the need of metal machining, to list and explain the parts of lathe and its functions. Some reference material has listed as from Hajira Chaudhary, Elements of Workshop Technology Volume 2 Machine Tools, Kalpik Jain and Schmid, Manufacturing Engineering Technology. Now let us see first the metal machining. The principle used in all machining processes is to generate the surface required by providing suitable relative motion between the workpiece and tool. It is carried out on machine tools. That's why we call it as metal machining. The machine tools may be classified broadly into machine tools for cylindrical work and machine tools for flat surface work. Say here showing some examples. Rotational part rotates tool stationary. Translational tool rotates workpiece is stationary. Here in straight turning it is for a cylindrical workpiece. The tool is stationary, held stationary against a rotating workpiece, thereby removal of material occurs. This is a parting off or cutting off operation carried out in the lathe. This is slab milling. This is end milling. The need of metal machining now. To reduce the cost and time required to manufacture a component. For example, if you want to reduce a diameter for a particular distance, if you go by metal casting, it needs the higher investment on the templates or pattern for making the complicated shape. Say for producing a drilled hole, we need to specify lot of things. Instead, if we go for metal machining, we'll have a component. We'll remove the unwanted material so that we can get the required diameter. We can make use of a drilling machine, drilling tool for producing a required hole, and also to reduce or lower the stress on the work material as compared to the forming process. Lathe is a mechanical device in which the work is held and rotated against a suitable cutting tool for the purpose of producing cylindrical forms in metals and other materials. Other materials may be wood. Composite material too. A lathe is a machine in which the workpiece or job is turned and a sharp tool is made in contact with it. As a result, some material is removed. Say there is excess material from the workpiece. Here the figure shows the various parts of the lathe. It consists of a headstock, it consists of a tailstock, it consists of a carriage, it has a bed, it has feed mechanisms, headstock assembly, tailstock assembly. Headstock contains spindle, work holder, workpiece. Carriage contains cross slide, compound rest, cutting tool, tool post. And bed contains guideways for the movement of tailstock as well as carriage. There is a feed mechanism called lead screw. Now let us see one by one. lathe bed. Lathe bed is the base of the machine. The headstock is located on the left end, the carriage is in the middle, and tailstock at the right end of the bed. The bed has guideways which is flat or inverted V. The carriage and tailstock may be moved on the guideways. Headstock. The headstock has a hollow spindle. A live center can be attached to the spindle. The spindle nose is threaded. Chuck and faceplate can also be attached for those of nose of spindle. The headstock has a gearbox for changing the speed of rotation. The spindle. The gearbox also helps to rotate the lead screw. The tailstock is mounted at the right end of the bed. It is used for supporting the right end of the workpiece with a live or a dead center. The tailstock can be moved along the bed for supporting different workpiece lengths and can be fixed at any position along the bed. The tailstock can also hold metal cutting tool, can be used for performing operations such as drilling, raming, tapping, countersinking, etc. Here the work welding devices, 4-jaw chuck. It contains 4 jaws which can hold the workpiece. This is a collet chuck. This is a 3-jaw chuck or self-centering chuck. A key is used for moving all the jaws simultaneously so that it is self-centering. It moves with the same face. Carriage. Carriage is supported on the lathe bed guideways and moves along the bed. A handle is turned in order to move the carriage. Two important parts of the carriage are saddle and apron. Saddle and apron. Also, there are units such as cross slide, compound rest, and tool post, which are placed on the top of the carriage. The top portion of the carriage is called saddle. Above the saddle is cross slide. Above the cross slide is compound rest, and above the compound rest, tool post. Apron. The front portion of the carriage is called apron. It has levers, gears, and clutches for moving the carriage by hand wheel. Cross slide is positioned on the saddle and can be moved across by a cross feed handle. This is the cross feed handle, or by power feed by the use of mechanism called apron mechanism. It is used to move the tool perpendicular to the rotation of axis. Compound rest is placed on the cross slide. It has a circular base called a swivel plate. The swivel plate is graduated in degrees. The compound rest can be turned or swiveled. It is used for taper turning in order to set the tool for angular cut. The compound rest has a handle to give a feed by hand. There is no power feed to the compound rest. Finally, the tool post. The tool post is fitted on the compound rest. The tool is clamped in the tool post. Feed mechanism. The movement of tool relative to the workpiece is termed as feed. Three types of feed can be given to a lathe. They are longitudinal, cross, and angular feed. When the tool moves parallel along the axis of the lathe, the movement is called longitudinal feed. This is achieved by moving the lathe carriage. When the tool moves perpendicular to the axis of the lathe, the movement is called cross feed. This is achieved by moving the cross slide. When the tool moves at an angle to the axis of the lathe, the movement is called angular feed. This is achieved by moving the compound rest by swelling it at an angle to the lathe axis. Feed rod is a long shaft used for movement of carriage or cross slide for operations such as turning, facing, boring. The lead screw or screw rod is used for thread cutting operations. The lead screw is a long threaded shaft used as a master screw. It is used only when threads are to be cut. A half nut engages or disengages the carriage with the lead screw. When the half nut is engaged, the rotating lead screw, the carriage moves longitudinally. The tool is used to cut threads is moved longitudinally in a definite ratio depending on the pitch of the thread required on the workpiece. So it is time to conclude. So we have seen the metal machining, need of metal machining, and explanation of various parts of the lathe. This is the half nut mechanism. It is in engaged position, moves the carriage.